What is up, everyone? I am back with some football content. This has been one that I've been looking forward to making. This video in general, I have not made a video about this ever since the end of the Super Bowl, which I am still trying to get over at times, but nowhere near as bad as I was when it happened. So I wanted to make a video not about week 1 because that's done with. Not really about week 2 against the Vikings because I'm sure you guys have heard a lot of content about that already. But about individual players such as Brandon Aiyuk. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Brandon Aiyuk for the first 2 weeks of the season has not looked like his normal self. And a lot of fans are worried, and I'm here to tell you why you should not be worried, and to pretty much just, hey, quit all of the overreactions. It's really ridiculous. It sounds absurd. Whether it's through the big media, the local Bay Area media, or just a lot of fans in general, a lot of you guys have, especially those who take the time to comment about these kinds of things or make your voice heard, are sounding a bit too ridiculous, and it's just kind of honestly, I've had enough of it and I need to say something. So let's go ahead and talk about it. I don't really know in what particular order to jump into this topic with, but I want to start off with this. Brandon Aiyuk was not practicing with the team pretty much all offseason until the final week leading up to their game 1 against the New York Jets. Okay, what did you think was going to happen? Did you honestly think Brandon Aiyuk was going to get out on that field and look like he just picked up where he left off during the previous season throughout the playoffs, where he looked like a top 5, top 10 receiver? Did you honestly think that? Hey, did you forget what happened with Bosa the season prior during his contract negotiations? He didn't come off hot out the gate, especially right after his Defensive Player of the Year award, where he came out on top with that award. He didn't come out, having sacks left and right. And look, don't get me wrong, Nick Bosa does well with or without the sacks. The sacks are not everything. But he did not come out hot. He did not come out hot out the gate. But I don't think we were there sitting there saying, well, I don't think he deserved the bag. We weren't saying that. The year before that, Deebo Samuel, same thing. Didn't show up to practice until literally right before week 1. What happened with him that season? He didn't look like the Deebo we always knew, right? He didn't seem as that player that we had seen up to that point. And he admitted it after that season was over. He admitted it that he just didn't feel the same. And the next year, which was last year, he came out hot out the gate. When you are not at practice and you are so focused on your contract negotiations and you're not getting up to game speed, getting those pads on, getting all those reps in with your guys, you are going to come out rusty. But the biggest thing is that we didn't think Deebo wasn't worth it. We didn't think Bosa wasn't worth it. And now we're sitting here perfectly happy with them, like everything's fine and dandy, because it is. The rust is gone. They got their money. They were at practice. Same thing happened with Brandon Aiyuk, okay? He was not practicing. I knew this from the jump. I knew this during this all summer long, that this was going to drag on, because same thing happened with Bosa and Deebo. The Niners are not ones to just give them the bag right off the rip. There's a lot of negotiation. And I knew going into game 1 and however X many games after that it's going to take, he's probably not going to look like the same Brandon Aiyuk we knew all last season. And what I'm here to tell you as well is that that doesn't mean Brandon Aiyuk will never get back to that form. And I think that's where fans get so emotionally charged and overreact in such a way that sounds ridiculous. People are saying that he wasn't worth the money. It was just week 2. Okay? If we were in week 11, week 12, and he looks no different than he does right now, then okay, I can understand how some of your frustration may seem a bit more valid. But right now, there is no reason to overreact about anybody on the roster. Nobody, especially Brandon Aiyuk. It's okay to be upset if you are coming up from this angle. And this angle is, well, I'm upset that he didn't just lock in his contract earlier so he could have been in practice a lot sooner. So therefore, we wouldn't have to watch him play rusty out on the field right now. If you say that, I understand with you. I completely agree with you. But you have guys saying that he wasn't worth the money. Get rid of him already. You know, I don't want him on this team. It was only week 2. I just think people forget that this is not a video game, right? You're not just gonna like select Brandon Aiyuk and then, okay, go Brandon Aiyuk. You know, you're playing him and then he's gonna make these incredible catches and run these amazing routes. Like if nothing changed. He's a human being, okay? He has not been in game shape for a while compared to the other guys. He was not even playing in preseason games. He couldn't even get reps in with the preseason team because he was still negotiating with his contract. And I'm a BA defender, okay? And what I mean by that is Brandon Aiyuk made me one happy fan all last season. He was off the charts. This guy was making clutch catches. He was running amazing routes. He was blocking downfield. That's the Brandon Aiyuk that I know. And I'm not going to sit behind you on this camera and say and act like Brandon Aiyuk cannot be that player again. Of course he can. He's done it. It doesn't just disappear. He just needs to get that game speed endurance back, that game speed quickness back, that game shape back. And it may take another game or two. But honestly, I truly believe, and I could be wrong, I believe that this week 3 against the Rams will be Brandon Aiyuk's breakout game. I'm not saying he's going to go catch 2 or 3 touchdowns, but what I am saying is I feel it with complete certainty that Brandon Aiyuk is going to catch a touchdown, at least one this game. You're going to see him block downfield like he usually does. You're going to see him beat cornerbacks. He's going to run great route. He's going to get a lot of yardage. I can see him easily getting a lot more yardage than what you've seen in the past 2 games and a lot more catches. I truly believe this game he will finally create that separation that we need him to, okay? So don't you worry. And guess what? If that happens, which I really think it will happen this game, and if it doesn't, I can almost assure you it'll happen game 4 against the Patriots at home. All of the same guys that have been doubting him, saying, you look at him, he's not playing great, are the same guys that are going to be lining up to get Brandon Aiyuk's jersey. These are some of the same people that were cheering him on right after the season was over to get his money. But there's just a lot of you folks that are very witty with your emotions. You're not playing well. I don't want you. You're playing great. You're the best. You're not contributing. Get out of here. You're playing awesome. You're a legend. Like, just stop. Just stop, okay? It was only the first 2 weeks of the season. We're going to take some L's. It's okay. Just like David Lombardi always says, if you don't know who that is, look him up. Covers the 49ers. Does a great job. It is a marathon, not a sprint. So just look at it that way. That's really all I wanted to say with Brandon Aiyuk. Calm down, whether you're a 49er fan or not. Brandon Aiyuk, I would say in a couple weeks' time, he's going to be back to himself, and this Rams game is going to be a starting point of showing everyone that. Thank you for watching. Look out for more 49er content, and I look forward to sharing more of this type of content with you guys throughout the season. And I also look forward to expanding my football content outside of the 49ers because there's a lot of good stuff out there to talk about. And I hope you guys care to listen. Thank you so much and have a good rest of your day.